I'm Leslie B, justice seeker, story keeper, and we're still watching, waiting for justice.
Hey y'all. So it ended up actually being early. I thought I had this scheduled at 8:15, but um it was 8:25. Oh, I hate that you're missing it, Ruth Ann. I used to play Bunko. I loved it. Let me make sure I've got the right microphone turned on. I got some good details today. Well, I mean, I think it's good. Just about like courtroom antics. It's very interesting. I'm just fascinated. So I did go this afternoon. But good evening. I'm Leslie B. And this trial I didn't even know about until last Sunday. And then Take It to Trial told me about it. And here we are. So I live in Nashville so I attended this afternoon. Then I attended all day yesterday. And then I attended Wednesday morning. So I feel like I've gotten a pretty good flavor for it. Welcome, Melissa and Ruth Ann. You'll just listen on replay, but we love it if y'all are here on replay. And I really appreciate if you hit like and if you would like to subscribe, I appreciate it. Oh, I know. I don't think he will. I mean, he knows that I'm into this trial, but my husband doesn't love this hobby. Hey, quilting girl, good to see you. I have found my second career, and I have the funniest story to tell you. John Smith, it's always good seeing you. So listen to this. Hey, Susan. Okay, who was it that wrote? It might have been Beach Bum. I saw it somewhere on a comment that was like the defense attorney wearing the all cream outfit and then the back of her. I was sitting there this afternoon going, I just don't think that's what I would have worn to have my back to the camera. And look, like I'm not gonna to body shame, but it's not what I would have worn. But the judge today, did y'all see the very, very, very end? Wow. Um, yes, he stayed late. But you have to as a juror. I mean, let me tell y'all, the jury is tired. I mean, there was a lot of this today, like nodding. It was afternoon, and I did see two take some little cat naps for sure. Mm, less note taking, some crossed arms. It was very interesting. And then they're going to do tomorrow 9 a.m. because the judge, he's just like, let's get it over with. But downtown's going to be a mess because right over there at the Nissan Stadium where the Titans play, Alan Jackson's going to be in concert. So it's going to be crazy. I am not going to go tomorrow. I really just need a day at home and I'm just going to watch it on TV. Oh, Melissa, I hope you get a good dinner. Let me tell you, I'm going to give y'all some insight on these people in just a minute. It's going to be interesting tomorrow. I've never seen a judge have a court on Saturday. I think I've only seen that once ever. I think he doesn't want to get them deliberating over the 4th. I'm not really sure, but yep, I've got a lot of opinions. Yep. Okay. So first of all, when they let the jurors go, and then, the attorneys will talk. So I don't know if y'all saw that at the end of today. Maybe I should just start out with that. But then, so we left, and so they've got like sheriff deputies in the hall, and then one of the bailiffs comes out because they let the jury get out of the building and get over to the parking garage before they let any of us leave. And so we were just all kind of standing out there having chit chat. And y'all know the bailiff that sits behind the defense table? He always has like a 3-piece suit on. I don't know if y'all can see him on camera. I'm assuming you can. He came up to me. He goes, "Hey, I know who you are." I said, "Oh, you do?" He goes, "I do." I said, "Well, who do you think I am?" He said, "Nancy Grace." I swear. And I At first, I thought, "Oh my god, if he says Leslie B, I'm gonna freak out," but I thought, "There's no way," and he's like, "Nancy Grace," and I started laughing. I said, "Well, Nancy Grace is, like, 15 or maybe 20 years older than me," and I said, "And she's really petite." I said, "I'm tall." I said, "She's, like, up to here." He's like, "Oh my god, all week we thought you were Nancy Grace." So, hey, maybe I'll just start rolling with it. I should have been like, "Yeah, do you want my autograph?" Is that not hysterical? Court was wild. I'm so glad I went. I went to work and I just kept watching it. I had 2 contracts I had to execute, and I'm like, "Let's get this going," and then I went on, a live stream, and stupid me, it was a channel's live stream and not Court TV's, and I was like, "Oh, they haven't even gone to lunch yet." Then I realized they were on delay. So, when I got there, though, it had only been in session, like, 10 or 15 minutes since they had come back from lunch, and I had been listening on the drive over, but, it was it was wild, but I had to take a different notebook because I left my pink notebook at home. I was all out of sorts today, y'all, but it was probably the least crowded. I figured you were the one that emailed me, and I will just say that channel emailed me. I'll just leave it at that. Um, that's why we come here for my updates. Thank you. Oh my god, Fresca. Yes, Cleo's mom. Fresca is my favorite. I have at least 2 a day. Y'all, I mean, why drink, like, water? I mean, these are 0 calories. Oh my god, they're so good. Mm, it is definitely my love language. Um, I've seen deliberations held on a Saturday, never a trial. What about the, Richard Allen trial? Wasn't that his name? The guy, the Delphi case? She was 5 months, Andrew. She was 5 months. So, okay, yeah, Nancy Grace. I'm like, "What?" But I loved it. And then, so yesterday when I went through the metal detector, it kept beeping. And so I thought they were saying "wand," but they're saying "wand." So the sheriff deputy, he comes over and he's like, "It's your bra strap." I said, "Well, I'm not taking it off." And so then today it didn't beep, and he went, "Oh, man, it's too bad." It was funny. Um, better than Nancy Grace. My friends call me little Nancy Grace, but really more like big Nancy Grace. Hey, take it to trial. So I'm gonna give y'all um oh, you're sweet, JJ Ferris. Thank you. Um, oh, you can't get Fresca? I would be really devastated. Fresca and gin. Yeah, Fresca and vodka is good. Hey, True Crime Wifey. Good to see you. Yeah, they are becoming. I mean, I'm like, "Hey," I'm talking to the sheriff deputies. You would have thought I've been going to a trial there for 6 weeks, but so I had to take a different notebook, but I always have a notebook. So, all right. First of all, the toxicologist guy, I've been really annoyed because the defense attorney, all she wants to do is just try to act like they're lying the way she would question them. I'm not gonna replay stuff. Y'all can go and watch it. It was very annoying to me. I mean, they're like, "Well, that's not what you asked me." She's like, "You gonna answer the question, you know?" And then the judge is like, "Well, maybe if you quit being so wordy." And then he was like, "Oh, I'll just ask it." Y'all need to go by and see. Um, yeah, she is a nightmare, and she is showboating, and it was cringe on a lot of levels. So, these are some of my notes from today. Blaise looks glazed. Like, just I mean, I think people are tired, obviously. I mean, it was just kinda like this, like, kinda like when you're staring, that was the look. So, when I came in, I sat on the defense side. I mean, I was on the end. I don't know if y'all saw me. I don't know if he panned over there, but I had a really good view of Blaze. So I was like, "Well, this is interesting," because I hadn't been able to do that. But he was just kinda You know, I mean, everybody looks tired. There is also another attorney sitting over there with them, like, later this afternoon, so I don't know who she was. Um, I also noticed Ed and Letitia like text each other. So, like, here's my iPhone. So he'll be like this, and then I'll hand it to her and she'll read it. So that's how they send notes or whatever. Um, okay. The lady that's been in the wheelchair, and I think I'm pretty sure it's Jade's grandmother. Today she had on a little purple dress and she had on tights that had butterflies. Is that not so cute? I'm telling y'all what Letitia's doing. She's just trying to confuse the jury, but they've kind of seen through. I mean, not kind of. I think they're seeing through it. I mean, this was somebody today when she was up there. They were like this, one of the jurors. And then one guy was going like this, just rocking. And then somebody else, I was like, oh, they're taking notes. But the more I watched that pen, they were doodling. They were doodling. I definitely saw a man take a good 15-minute nap. I mean, even I was getting tired. I think everybody was getting tired. He's not a science guy. Yeah, she makes everything more complicated. But this is what was really interesting. They've been trying so hard to act like she had fentanyl in her system, and you can tell these witnesses today were keys, right? I mean, they had us there to almost, I don't know, 6:15 tonight. And then they're gonna save the cross for tomorrow. But that lady, Dr. is it Meffers? Just, asking all these questions. And they had to really specify they admitted like a third tube of blood in those test results. You could tell the defense did not want this stuff in. All right. I liked the part when the judge is like, let me just get to the point. What they're asking is, did they do 1, 2 grams, a kilo? What'd she do of Coke? What are they, do you know how much Coke it was? I loved it. The Blaise family, they all seem tired. I mean, the parents are kind of like, I think reality's really definitely sinking in, but they're tired. The courtroom, like I said, was the least amount of people today. The last 3 rows on both sides were pretty much empty. The back 3 rows. The family that came in yesterday was still there, and at one of the breaks, I saw the lady walk off with Evie, who's Blaise's mom. I felt like she was kinda upset and just wanted to talk to her friend. Jade's family, I will give them credit. They are sitting in that same row, in that same order every day, friends and family. But, I mean, they're tired, they're stretching, the men are sitting up on their knees. Learned that cocaine will dissolve. I wrote down that his dad has a blank stare, but again, I think he's just tired. Letitia was ferociously writing notes, and Jan was giving. So when Letitia was up there doing a cross, Jan was giving a lot of orders to that other prosecutor, like, we got to do this and this and this. I mean, there was a lot that they wanted to get done today. But then the girls that are in the gallery that are with the defense attorneys, and I showed them to y'all on a video. Um, hell, I don't know, all the days are running together. Like I said, they've got a whole team, but they bring in like one of those big Rubbermaids like you would put Christmas decorations in, and it's just loaded with papers and it's tabs. And I see MNS written on there, which is the lab that did a lot of the blood work and the urine analysis, because they were explaining the Metro Lab has the capability to do so much, but it's like they send them out to dig up dirt. And then I was sitting behind them and they had their laptops, and anytime a witness was up there, they're Googling them, trying to find stuff about them. And then I'm going to tell y'all what else. They are streaming court TV on their MacBooks. And by the way, their screens are filthy. I mean, it's gagging. I was like, can you get some Windex and a freaking paper towel and just clean it? I mean, the amount of DNA that is all over their screen. But I look and I see court TV and I see the chat, and she is reading the chat. So there you go. And remember how we all said how she didn't talk yesterday? I think they were giving her feedback, and those girls are tired. They are tired. They're yawning, but I would not want to piss off any of them. They're constantly having them, they're in and out of the courtroom constantly. Make 3 copies of this and this, and they send it back and that she'll be up there cross-examining them and they come up with a new thing and then it gets passed up. Yeah, I don't think she's winning any points either. There might be 1 or 2, but I don't know. Um, the jury looked exhausted today. I saw 2 of them that kept looking at something back here, and I looked, and there's a clock at the, door. Um, the judge is over it. I've never seen a judge just, like, start doing the questioning. Yeah, and then she just today, though, she was really feisty, and, but like I said, Blaise is just kinda like he's just like this. I mean, I know he's 30, but he kinda sits there like an 18-year-old. Yeah, she's just trying to confuse the jury and just poke some hole. Has defense figured out I'm a YouTuber? They probably did today. Um, but I don't know. Whatever. Um, I didn't talk with I mean, I didn't really talk with anybody today, just because I got there this afternoon and there was only 1 short break and I had to make a call for work. Um, let's see. Did he do that in front of the jury, calling Letitia out? Are you talking about the end when she was like, "Cut the media"? No, they were out. Forensic, you would be all over this trial. Today was all the forensic stuff, all the lab. I mean, that is their big evidence and that comforter, um, which, yes, it was compromised and the friends, I guess, were playing detective, but at the same time, the police wasn't doing their job. Also, the really high up guy in the Nashville Police Department, he was in the courtroom today observing. That says a lot. I don't think that's typical for him to go to trials. Yeah, it's been wild, sitting there. I mean, you could feel it. I mean, today at points, people were like, "Whoa," with the judge. Um, oh, I'm sorry, Forensic. You had to put your dog to s your cat to sleep. I'm so sorry. Yeah, the lab testimony was wild. Yes, very sorry, Forensic. Oh, their screens, it's disgusting. I mean, like, do y'all ever just, like, clean your iPhones? I mean, I do, but, I mean, the screen just has to they're scrolling Instagram, they're looking for anything on these people. But when I saw them watching the court TV stream, and it was the lady that was up on the stand, and they're reading the comments. I mean, she might have even been screenshotting that and sending it, I don't doubt it. But she had the Metro government website up to see people's bios. I mean, they were accusing one lady, like, "You made up a test?" And she's like, "Well, no." I mean, like, trying to twist the words. I felt like really trying to have this, like, gotcha moment. Um, let's see. I'm trying to see what other you like the defense attorney. She's just doing what she can for prosecutor, too monotone. Is he like a male version of Corey Richins? Mhm. There's a lot of fat in there for sure. Oh, I'm so sorry, Forensic. You're busy. Yeah, she's trying, but the judge does not like her. And I saw someone else were asking, um, yeah, maybe he'll do a directed verdict. I don't, I don't think so. Yeah, it was crazy about the testing. If she was following law and crime, she would have seen the bashing. Cliff's notes of the forensic testimony is basically that they called in the detective, and I hope y'all don't mind, but I'm gonna eat this popsicle. This is another addiction. Sorry, hold on. It's melting. Look at these Outshine grape bars. I love them. So her urine did tests for, like, it was an insane amount of cocaine and it was ingested. Your levels couldn't be that high. And cocaine is dissolvable. So she drank it. And then the vomit tested that she threw up on that comforter, it tested for cocaine as well. And I think the fentanyl positive, because they're trying to blur all that, but she didn't test positive for fentanyl until after she'd been in the hospital. And they do administer fentanyl. When you're on a ventilator, they have to give you stuff to keep you sedated. Who's Pete? Who you talking about, Wendy Jones? Mm. I can't stand the way she introduces herself. I find it annoying. I'll tell you what I don't like is the passive aggressive. Hey, if you don't understand one of my questions, I'll try to make it so you can. How about say, hey, sometimes my questions don't come out right, so please let me know if I need to clarify. Isn't that a much friendlier tone? Yeah, he told them off at the end too. Oh yeah, the little guy, the Bart Simpson dude. Blaise was a scout for the Tennessee Titans. I doubt he has a job now. I'm sorry, I'm eating popsicles. Oh my god, these are like when they have them in stock in Publix. I buy like 3 or 4 boxes. I'm addicted to them. Oh, Juanita, my husband loves banana popsicles. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me keep reading this stuff. I was like, I'm not going to write down the stuff that we see in court. Like anybody can see all that. All right. Yeah. I said the 2 paralegals, they brought in the big Rubbermaid tub and it had like in Sharpie M&S Labs. It reminded me of when Jackie brought the big box into court and it said Wendy Adelson on it. Oh, the one thing I was thinking, a lot of times when people are on trial, like you start just seeing like the stress and all that, and you don't really see it with Blaze. But part of me thinks, I mean, he was a great athlete, right? I mean, he wasn't NFL. He's too little for that, but he did well in high school and for Arkansas State, I think is who he played for. I feel like they handle pressure pretty well because they're used to competing. Um, let's see. I felt like she was definitely kinda trying to be demeaning with the toxicologist. He was on the stand when I got there. Oh my god. Yeah, Melissa, 5 boxes in your freezer, only buy on sale. Yeah, when they're BOGO, I've cleared out. Real Happy says, yes, anything water soluble will dissolve in most liquids." Oh, and they were also trying to prove, like, the metabolites of cocaine, and they kept talking about I don't know, basically alcohol, but the point was she did not have alcohol, like from an alcoholic drink in her system and the cocaine. Cause they're trying to prove like she was some crazy addict and drinking and all this. And yeah, that's the whole thing is to confuse, but I feel like they're seeing through it. That's my opinion. Yeah. Yeah. It was an ingested. And then like she was trying to ask the toxicologist, like, can you figure out how much she would have done or eaten or whatever? And he's like, that's not how the tests work. And she's like, that's not my question. And I mean, the judge was just not having it. That's a good question on the scene. I don't know because that was earlier on and they were just all taking notes. But there was a point today, when the lab results for the comforter came up. So up until this point, the jurors were kind of like this. I saw all the jurors. So the front row, they've got some little computer screens, and then the back row, they have to kind of look down. This is what all the jurors did. They all leaned forward. I mean, everybody. I mean, you would have thought they were about to reveal the lucky winning lotto tickets. What was his salary? It didn't say. It didn't say what it was. Yeah, I'm sorry I'm being rude and eating on YouTube, but whatever. It's been a week. Strawberry outshine, I haven't had that. I've tried the watermelon, but grape is always my favorite. When I was growing up, there were Welch's popsicles, and I think it reminds me of those. I also wrote, at one point I wrote sad dog face because when Letitia was talking, like, I feel like Blaze kinda is maybe looking defeated or is just tired, but he was like, like droopy eyes kinda. That's the way I would explain it. Um, I wrote that a lot of jurors, like, sometimes were cleaning their glasses or swiveling their chair. I saw one lady take her hair and kinda do this, like, she was gonna take a nap, but she was trying not to let people see her. I definitely saw a gentleman, like I said, sleeping. Jan was very, very, very intense listening to Jan, the prosecutor, listening to the toxicologist. I mean, she was online getting ready for, getting up there. I noticed that during Letitia's cross-examination, not a single juror was taking notes. I keep writing jury tired. Um, his dad was looking down a lot. I just cracked up when the judge is like, "Well, can you tell us, was it 1 ounces, 2 ounces, or a kilo of Coke or what?" Um, and then the judge goes, "I got 2 things to say to Letitia. You're going way beyond the scope of redirect. And why don't you let him answer the question because she gets really, really wordy." "Hey, Miss Kitty, good to see you." He got that LDE. What does that mean? Mm, sorry, my brain isn't. I thought we were the only people that like Outshine. I'm glad to know. Oh, Andrew, good news. Nestor got slammed down today in the Charlie Kirk case. Death penalty is on. Interesting. Yeah, I thought the toxicologist did well. I mean, it was really, yes, it was cocaine, and it was like it was like 800 something. Okay, this is what I wrote down. I wrote 78 nano to milliliters, but then I wrote 8,000 nanos to milliliters, so I don't even know what that is. There's one juror that keeps taking notes like crazy, and she has been since day one. Yeah, his attorney is a nightmare. There's a lot of like scientific evidence and lab tests and stuff from today. This is definitely like the core thing. And let me tell y'all something. Apple Denny is about to testify, and it might be tomorrow, but I'm not going down there. Or it might be Monday. So Apple Denny used to date Blaze a long time ago. And supposedly he texted her, was it wanting to know where he could get a pill to crush up to put in somebody's drink because he didn't want the baby? So he got a girl pregnant. She got an abortion. Then he wanted to get an abortion pill to put into a girlfriend's drink that he had also gotten pregnant, and he didn't want the baby. I don't think he meant to kill Jade. I think it was only to hurt the baby. Real happy. Highly likely there's at least one person on jury with medical knowledge. Could be. Yes, the defense is trying to say she drank alcohol, but I felt like the prosecution did a good job today saying no, and it was explaining all the is it metabolites, and they were talking about ketones and all the things. I agree, Miss Poffles. I don't think the jury is buying what Letitia's trying to sell. I know, but I feel like we shouldn't be given any pointers because we know her little minions are watching all this shit. Mhm. And she was trying to act like she was all knowledgeable in science, but the guy was like, "No, you can't do that." Yeah, then I wrote, and I kinda already said this, another man sleeping, one man is nodding off, juror looking at the clock, and that a sidebar got very heated. You can't hear because they have one of those white noise, switches, but I could hear Letitia's voice raising. Um, Detective Reese, oh, then they did a voir dire of, who was it? It was the lady from the lab accusing her of making up a test. And she was like, "No," and then she was just explaining, like, "I don't test comforters for vomit every day." Um, yeah, they had on their laptop the Metro Nashville, like, website, like, looking up some of the different witnesses. At one point, I said the prosecution seemed a little discombobulated, but they're all just kinda talking, trying to figure out, like, where do we need to go with this? And that was a key witness, and she'll be back up tomorrow. Um, the judge got so annoyed with Letitia, he started, um, asking questions. Oh, I did notice too, though, that the DA, people that work in the DA's office were bringing them copies of text messages. You could see, like, the green and the blue, and I think that's what happened in the end. So, I guess they just text downstairs and they bring it up. Oh, and then I kept hearing a printer, and I realized the defense has a printer under their table, like a laser printer, that you would have in your office, and they're just printing stuff. Do I think the judge is interfering too much? I I don't know. Wait, who's not being rude? Sorry. I'm not okay, but eating, okay, thank you. Um, I think he has to. I think he's maintaining control of his courtroom because she's been trying to run it. That's what I think. I don't think anybody's buying that this girl was overdosing, though. I mean, with all the stuff they showed, when they showed the pictures of the closet that had the baby bouncy seat and the walker in there, the baby walker, she had a Pinterest board on how to decorate her nursery. She had a Pinterest board on the kind of baby shower. She was doing a painting that night with Blaise. Um, it was for the nursery, and he wanted to paint a dark hole. That's what he said. And she had painted, it wasn't a rainbow, but it was like bright colors and then had done motivational words. Oh, you like the coconut outshines? I'm not a big coconut person. Oh, hey, JJ. I've missed so much of your Adelson content. I know this is off topic. I understand if you don't want to answer it now. Um, did you ask something earlier? I'm sorry if I missed it. I am making the thumbnail, but True Crime Wifey, Patty, and I are all hosting a live Sunday, and it is Dan Markel case trivia. So bring on your A game because y'all know True Crime Wifey has the hardest questions ever, but we're going to do a mix. Um, so JJ, we expect to see you there. It will be at 7:30 Eastern time. Yeah, Melissa, blast from the past, right? Oh, hey. Thank you. You're so sweet. New here. You look amazing. But also, Kathy from Gossip, Rumor, and Innuendo is a unicorn who clearly doesn't age. So I wouldn't listen to her. You're both beautiful, though. Oh, you're sweet. No, Kathy was really nice. She said something nice last night or in Cat's Live. It was sweet. She's nice. I met her in person at CrimeCon. Oh, JJ says, why didn't Donna and Harvey attend Charlie's trial? Do you think it affected the jury? No, I mean, he tries to blame one thing, like Wendy's drive down Trescott, and there's plenty of other things, but they didn't want to be anywhere near there. I don't know if they thought they might be more likely to get arrested. Um, there was a lot of controversy back and forth about them testifying. The state wouldn't put them as a witness because didn't want to have to give them immunity. And then they just kind of waived it. I don't know. I mean, True Crime Wifey can probably give you a lot better opinion, but it was a really bad one. You were happy when the defense did cross it woke you up. The Adelsons are strange. Okay, so I'm gonna play this Vinnie Politan show because this is an interesting take. Now, y'all know Vinnie Politan is a retired prosecutor, right? So I'll play this and then I'll pause and we'll chat. But this, I think, just came out in like the last couple days, which I'm sure does not make Letitia happy because she wanted to cut the stream today.
He was a golden boy, a college football star, a senior analyst, and a rising star NFL scout for the Tennessee Titans. Blaise Taylor had his entire life mapped out, but behind the stadium lights, a secret was unraveling. In late 2022, Blaise's girlfriend, 25-year-old Jade Benning, discovered that she was pregnant, and she was absolutely thrilled. But prosecutors say Blaise was not.
She was going to find out if they were having a baby girl or a baby boy. She asked him to go, and he did not.
On February 25th, 2023, Jade and Blaise planned a quiet, alcohol-free
So the makeup of the jury is 9 women, 7 men. So there's 16. So 4 are alternates. But so far, they're all still there.
date night at her Nashville apartment. That night, Jade's best friend received a phone call. Jade didn't speak directly to her, but the line stayed open. What the friend heard next was a chilling, real-time nightmare.
She immediately starts saying, "What did you do? What did you put in my drink?"
Jade got ill and Blaise called 911.
I don't have 10,000 messages. You have to investigate action.
2 days later, her unborn baby girl died. And a week later, on her 25th birthday, Jade took her last breath. Now Blaise Taylor is on trial for murder. The state calls it a cold-blooded poisoning with liquid cocaine. The defense claims it was a tragic voluntary overdose. And now
It was not. This girl was so excited to have a baby, y'all. Okay, so the abortion pill testimony will be damning. So here is kind of the story, because I'm like, who is Apple Denny? So Apple Denny was an ex-girlfriend of Blaise Taylor, who's on trial. And she is a key potential witness. And today, Jan, the prosecutor, again confirmed that she is going to be, I think she said she's got 4 more witnesses, and Apple is one of them. Prosecutors detailed that while Blaise Taylor and Denny were dating, he got another woman pregnant. Taylor allegedly asked Denny to procure an abortion pill so he could crush it up and put it in the other woman's drink. When Denny refused to procure the pill, Taylor allegedly asked what else he could put in a drink to terminate the pregnancy. So that's why I don't think he was trying to off Jade. I think he just wanted to maybe make her sick enough, and then it would hurt the baby. But yeah. The defense team used opening arguments to counter Denny's potential testimony, claiming she held a vendetta against Taylor and kept a to-do list to put him behind bars. So, yeah. And he also had a girlfriend, I don't know if it was high school or college, that got pregnant, and that she did get an abortion.
jury must figure out exactly what happened. Way too many times in my career at Court TV, I have seen the pregnancy of someone's girlfriend or wife or fiance as a motive for murder. This is outrageous, right? The miracle of life, bringing life into the world as a reason why you would end someone's life. Well, in this case, the prosecution's case is really built on the words of the victim herself, her dying words. But will they be enough for a conviction? I'm Vinnie Politan. Let's investigate.
Juanita, yes, I do see Blaise Taylor coming and going. So the first day when I went on Wednesday, I went through the metal detectors, and he was just standing right there in the lobby of the courthouse. I'm like, wow. He was with his parents. And then yesterday, I saw him walking around outside. He was going to lunch with a friend. So yeah. And actually today I saw him out in the hallway. I guess he went to the bathroom. His one of the men attorneys was with him. It's wild though to be out there. It's uncomfortable because like at one point I saw Jade's mom walking this way and Trooper, who was Blaise's dad, walking this way. I mean, they just kind of looked the other way. I kept thinking about what it must be like for the Markells and seeing Wendy. That's why she brings Morgan Honeycutt, I guess.
Cases involving women who are carrying life, who are pregnant.
I don't think the judge, I mean, it is different for the judge to interfere, but I think he's also trying to keep it on track. I mean, I think if not, we might still be there with her going in circles on questions. And he's just like, he goes, I'm a get to the point kind of guy. That's how he ended it today. He's like, let's just get to the bottom line, because the prosecutor was even kind of hawing how many witnesses. And he's like, well, what's the number? Who are they? He's like, we're not playing this game.
Pregnant and are then murdered are the ones that get me a little bit more angry than most. You're talking about someone who is about to experience an incredible miracle and bring a baby into this world. And someone has decided that that's a reason to kill them.
Yeah, I mean, I think Blaise was just, in my opinion, I mean, he's right. He's innocent until proven guilty. He's a jock, right? I mean, he's grown up with a good life, right? I mean, mom and dad have great careers, make good money. I'm sure they've had a very good upbringing. Get what you want. And he didn't want that baby. I mean, it was clear he didn't. Yes, real happy. Exactly. She had diapers. She had a pregnancy pillow. And I know people are like, well, too much evidence is tampered with. Okay. Yeah. So they went in there and they got the comforter with the vomit. But let's remember the lab tests from the hospital. And her friend had just been there before and she was fine. And then this happens. And her friend did not do this. Who had the means, motive, and opportunity? Just keep asking yourself that question.
It is horrific. Now, this particular case reminds me of two cases, Scott Peterson and Corey Richens. Scott Peterson, you remember, his wife Lacey was about to give birth.
Lola, did you watch the Corey Richens trial? Did we ever prove she did it? I think nowadays everybody thinks you got to have a friggin' video camera of the whole thing going down. This is work. He had I think a lot of it is circumstantial, but as Prof. Joe says, sometimes circumstantial evidence can be stronger than direct evidence. But we haven't heard all the evidence yet.
It was like they had named the child already, little baby Connor. They were this close to, starting their family together, Scott and Lacey. And that's the moment that he chose to kill her and kill his baby. They put him on death row. He got off death row, but that's where it put him. So when you think of that case where the motivation for Scott Peterson to kill his wife, Lacey, was because, she's got a baby. I want to live this other life. If this baby's born, I can't divorce her, blah, blah. Horrific, right? And then I look at this case, and the mode of the alleged murder is poisoning, where one party feeds the poison to another party, right? Corey Richens, we covered that case with the Moscow mule that she laced with fentanyl that she gave to her husband. And he's drinking, and that's it. He's done. I mean, that's the allegation here as well. The allegation here is that Jade was given liquid cocaine, something I didn't even know existed, but it's a thing. And it's a huge amount of liquid cocaine that prosecutors say was put inside the drink. And again, all of this motivated by, allegedly, by the fact that she's carrying his child and he doesn't want to have a child. Well, that's not your decision, by the way, whether or not you're going to be a father. You made that choice when you got her pregnant. That's when you made the choice to be a father. But again, the defense has a case here. They're going to put it.
Did y'all see a comment I wrote on YouTube this morning? I was like, so if the condom doesn't fit, do you acquit?
In their evidence, but these are the allegations. So what will the defense be? How will they do that? I mean, the only way they can really.
She did? I'll have to check that out. Kathy said about me being in court. Cool. Thanks.
Defend this is to go after the victim. You've got to go after Jade because it's cocaine, which I guess some people, can use recreationally. I don't know in this level, in this amount, or in this form, but that's got to be the defense. You're going after Jade. It's her fault. She didn't do it on purpose, but she killed herself because she couldn't help herself from partying too much, even when she was carrying a child. So that's where the defense is going to go. It's all about dirtying up the victim and making her look like an irresponsible, expectant mother who was more concerned about getting high than about the safety and welfare of her child that she was carrying. The problem for the defense is that prosecutors have Jade's final words. Words that take.
Also, so somebody just wrote, they think that her friend did it. Absolutely not. I have a very good pulse check on that, and I'll just leave it at that. But she called her and said, I'm going to tell y'all, this is what this reminds me of. So when Jade was being poisoned and could probably feel her body, shutting down, so she calls her friend and she can hear her saying to Blaise, "What did you do? What did you put in my drink?" I'm going to tell you what it reminds me of. It's long ago when Leslie was married to someone else. And Leslie's parents hired a private investigator to prove said person was having an affair. And private investigators was not that good. And so I was at home and my ex calls me. He's like, "I know what you did. There is somebody tailgating me on 400. So we lived in Atlanta. So y'all know what Highway 400 is. And I'm like, oh crap, because I knew they were following him, but apparently they were very erratic and tailgating. I mean, stupid. So I picked up the landline back because we still had one, and I dialed the private investigator's phone number. Never said a word, and I just kept talking to my ex. I said, "What? You're crazy. No, we didn't hire an investigator." And I just kept saying it. Got the message, backed off. So I have a real world experience with doing something like that. She was basically wanting to document it, calling her friend and telling her that. Yeah. And he has a history of not wanting 2 other kids.
The jury
It's circumstantial.
to the scene of this alleged crime.
Thank you, Peachy Keen.
She made a phone call to her friend. She didn't speak to her friend, but the line was open, and the friend could hear everything that was being said inside that apartment, including the moment when Jade is ingesting the poison.
Lola, you think she's phony? Have you met her? Do you know her? I think she's beautiful.
So let's take a look at the testimony. Nigella is the friend.
Peachy Keen, you're too sweet. Thank you so much. Y'all, I hope some people are getting memberships.
Of Jade. And she was at the apartment earlier that night because Jade is a great cook. She was making some great food for Blaise, and she wanted to get a plate of the food. So she
Has who shown emotion? Nija? Yeah. She's been sobbing her eyes out every day. Tissues, tears, crocodile tears pouring down her face, sobbing.
was there earlier in the night, met Blaise and everything, and now becomes the most important witness for prosecutors and perhaps the most important witness for this jury to understand what was happening inside that room and what was
Okay, let's go back to that right there.
witness for prosecutors and perhaps the most important witness for this jury to understand what was happening.
So that is what Jade was painting. So it's those green, pink, and yellow lines. And then in the black, she was doing motivational words that she found on Pinterest. And then I went back and watched Keontae's testimony, and he said, yeah, I thought it was weird because Blaise told me he wanted to paint a black hole
Inside that
This
room.
was art for the nursery. So that's what he was painting over there.
And what was going on between Jade and Blaise, and what did Jade say?
No, I'm not against the defense. This channel against the defense. I mean, that's a really broad thing. I'm just pointing out where I am on it, but sometimes we're pro defense, sometimes we're not.
Say the dying words, the final words of Jade after
I know Vinny is dramatic, but
allegedly being poisoned by her boyfriend Blaise. I wanted to take a moment to talk about something that I think impacts all of us, which is our personal information and data, which is all over the internet. And there are brokers selling it to who knows who. So there's a company called Incogni. And what they do is they go, and instead of you having to contact all these folks, they do it for you. Get hours. They now are in profit to make me safe. So what can you do? You want to get one of these plans?
Happy, very excited to spend the rest of the night with Blaise, and probably excited that I was leaving now.
When you left, where did you go?
To Keontae's house.
And what did you do when you got there?
I ate my chicken.
they have the text messages, and those are coming in. They've got them both in Blaise's iCloud, but they also have them on her phone. So that was informed the end of the day today.
Alfredo.
And were you planning on hanging out with Mr. Jones all night, or what was your kind of plan for that night?
No, I just stopped by. We were just studying, got food. We were just like hanging out, and I was about to go home.
And did you actually leave Mr. Jones's house?
I did.
Did you stop anywhere before you got home?
Yes.
And where did you stop?
A gas station.
And what, if anything, happened while you were there?
I was pumping gas. And as I was walking back to my car, I get a phone call from Jade. And I answered it. And I was like, hello? Just normal. And she immediately starts saying, what did you do? What did you put in my drink? Then I heard her say, Blaise, you're scaring me. And he was like, you're scaring me. And she was like, I know you put something in my drink. She's like, I knew my drink tasted funny. And she was asking him to empty his pockets. And she was like, let me see what's in your pockets. Let me see. And he was like, I don't have anything. So this whole time I'm like, Jade, like trying to get a response from her. So because I didn't get a response from her, I texted her and I was like, are you talking to me? What's going on? And then she was like, I know you put something in my drink because I can't even walk to drink. She was saying that she couldn't feel her legs. And then she said it again. And she was like, you put something in my drink. You did this so something happened to me.
Give her just maybe Lynette, I won't everybody be able to hear you, number one, but then let you call them.
This is some of the most compelling.
I found that to be real, unlike other people that we've seen. But I mean, we can all keep it, you can all have your opinions, right? But I found that to be authentic. And yeah, I agree. They were like playing Inspector Gadget, going over there, and the mom friend calling her son, the cop, saying, yeah, go do this and that. But the cops hadn't done it. They screwed up. Yeah, maybe the judge has big plans for the 4th. I don't know. It is crazy. But he's keeping control of the courtroom. Apparently, that's what he's pretty known for.
Testimony a jury could ever hear.
I don't think he's in a perpetual state of anger. I think he is just like, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're not playing games. I'm not playing games. He doesn't like that. He's just like, I'm a very direct, matter-of-fact person.
An ear witness to the crime. Inside, it's as if she's inside the apartment and she's witnessing.
Peachy Keen, you're too sweet. All these memberships, thank you so much. And please spread the joy by sharing the channel with others. Very kind of you. I agree. Vinny is very dramatic, and I really hate his gaming chair. Hate it. Hate gaming chairs. I cannot stand them. Yeah. I know I saw these people like, why didn't Blaise wear condoms? Probably the same reason a lot of men do. Doesn't feel the same.
The alleged murder of her friend. Her demeanor is incredibly compelling and real. You can see and feel how she's taking herself back to that moment in recalling what her friend said. And these are the words of the victim that she's telling this jury. Like the words of the victim herself speaking out loud.
Okay, so this is my theory. Real Happy wrote, curious as to what made Blaise reach back out to her as she was fine with his decision, because he didn't want the baby around, because then guess what? Child support. Or mom and dad would know I had a kid. Motive.
Loud about exactly what prosecutors say happened here. Let's listen to some more.
Okay.
Can you repeat the last thing that you heard Jane say?
She said that you did this so something could happen to the baby.
Did she say anything else?
She was saying I'm about to pass out. And then towards the end of the conversation, she was like, is key. And then nothing else.
What?
She was saying, it was very wavy, and she was like, is, I heard is, and I heard with, and I heard key. And so I then merged Keontae on the phone because I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with Jade. Something sounds wrong. Listen to her. And he's like, Jade, I'm here. And at that point, you just really couldn't understand what she was saying anymore.
Ms. Jackson, I want to kind of go back. At the beginning of the call, when you could understand Jade, can you describe, based on your experience, how did she sound?
She sounded very scared. She did not sound like herself. She sounded like she needed
Did you say she sounded like she needed help?
Yes.
When she was saying the things that you just testified to, did she say some of those phrases more than once?
Yes.
And you said at the beginning, she said, Blaise, you're scaring me.
Yes.
And you heard him respond. Did he respond to any of the other phrases that she was saying to him?
The only thing he responded to was when she said that he was scaring her. He then said, like, you're scaring me. And then when he was asking her if she had when she was asking if he had anything in his pockets and for him to show her, he was like, I don't have anything. And that was kind of all he said.
So you could hear him on that call.
Yes.
And that's all.
That's significant as well. Think about all the information that is coming through this witness, right? The words of the victim herself, not only telling.
I agree. It's credible. And y'all have to remember too, they were like 25. I mean, it's easy for us to watch this as older adults and be like, oh, well, they should have done this and this and this. Wendy Joan, the defense challenging scientists made her look stupid, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't think that was a good look. Like, you admit someone and you don't object to them being an expert witness, and then you get up there and you're like, and you're just trying to shred something apart on them.
Her friend, and now telling the jury how she died. It was the poisoning from the drink. Who is responsible? Blaise, and why he did it. You're trying to harm the baby. All of those questions answered from this witness, from this testimony, from what she heard on the phone that day, the day that Jade, according to prosecutors, was poisoned by Blaise. Let's watch some more.
And that's all he said during that whole time that Jade made all of those statements. So that she couldn't feel her legs. And she's asking him, what's in your hand? Show me your pockets. What did you put in my drink? I knew my drink tasted funny. He did not provide a response to any of that.
No.
And can you describe that call is a 6-minute and 9-second call? Kind of at what point, is it just at the end, those last few words that you really couldn't understand her?
Yes.
And you said you heard her say kind of 3 words. What were those again?
I heard is, I heard with, and I heard key.
And
See, for her to say that, it just, to me, shows it's not made up, because, like, why would you make that up? I heard with key. Little Miss Red Velvet, I think that's, are you 5 hours ahead of Eastern time? I think that would be right.
did you try to connect that to what that could possibly mean?
Yes.
I never heard of liquid snow either, but I guess it's just when you dissolve it. I don't know. I was confused. But today when they said it's dissolvable, I'm like, who knew?
Didn't understand what she was saying, but because she sounded so scared and Keontae was just there, we all call him Key. So I was like, okay, like, she's obviously scared, like, she needs him now.
Audrey, if it's 7 in California, then it would be 10. So if our live is 7:30 Sunday night, that'll be 4:30 your time. Just so you know, when you see it scheduled on YouTube, it will display in your time zone.
I help her because she's with another man and Keontae is a man. So when I added him on the phone, he's talking to her and
Is she responding at all?
no.
At any time did you think that Jade Benning was saying those phrases to you?
No.
And you heard Mr. Taylor respond, and you heard her say too, Blaise, you're scaring me.
Yes.
How did that call end?
The phone hung up.
Did you hang up?
No.
At any point, did Mr. Taylor say anything to you?
No.
And what did you do after that line got cut?
I called back.
Did you call back more than once?
Yes.
At some point, and you're calling back Ms. Benning's phone, is that correct?
Correct.
Did you have Blaise Taylor's phone to call him?
No.
At some point, was her phone answered?
Yes.
And who answered it when you called back?
Blaise.
And can you describe what was said in that phone call?
I answered the phone, and he answered the phone, and I was like, Blaise, like, what's going on? What's going on? Like, FaceTime me. Like, let me see her. And he doesn't FaceTime me. But he tells me that he's about to call 911.
Did you ask him
Hold it right there.
several times?
He's about to call 911. Like, why not call 911 immediately? Immediately. All this makes him look horrible, absolutely horrible. And obviously, phone calls and timing can all be verified through phone records. It's not like she's making this stuff up. Like, oh, I'm about to call 911. Like, you don't call 911 immediately?
And you'll have to remember too, like Blaise and Jade were not some hot and heavy serious relationship. It was a casual thing. And she got, pregnant. I mean, she didn't, her friend didn't have his number. I mean, she didn't even know him. And that Keontae, that was the first time meeting him that night. Yeah, I know. Jazz, you're saying, I don't understand why the friend didn't call the cops. I mean, I have to look back and go, okay, she's 25. Then you get that call and you're like, I mean, is that what I think? Like, should I call 911? It's not like, oh my God, got to be poisoning her. I'm going to call 911. I mean, you got to have a little, like, a thought like that. Because you would think, like, surely he would call. But anyway, it's awful.
Another big problem. Huge problem for this. Like this evidence, some of the most compelling I've seen. Poisoning cases, usually there's two people there. In the cases I've covered through the years, whether it's antifreeze or fentanyl or whatever it is, when one person is poisoning their other significant other, there's just two people there. And then there's always the question about cause of death. And there's the question about, well, how was it ingested? Why was it ingested? Was it voluntary? Was it not? This answers all those questions. If the jury believes this testimony, and obviously they have to believe the testimony, it answers all those questions. Mm-hmm. Blaise is responsible. Blaise gave her the drink. The drink is what caused her distress. She didn't know what was going on. But then she realized and pointed the finger right at Blaise and said, it's all because you don't want this baby. The motivation behind all of this. One question, though, about the call itself. Was this Jade purposely calling her friend knowing that something is going wrong here and I want a witness to all of this? Or was it a butt dial? I think it was the first. I think Jade knew what was happening, was extremely concerned, and wanted her best friend to be there for her.
Yeah, just like the day I called the private investigator. It's exactly what that is. Tiff Knox, good question. I wonder if Nija was afraid for her life after what happened to her friend. Yeah. Oh, that's something else I want to say, too. I was talking about that this morning on my live when I was going to work. He has so much access to this big defense team with all these resources. I mean, they've got an investigator. They've got all these different assistants running around making copies, doing these searches, watching the court room court TV live stream today. If he was like most defendants, he would have had a public defender and it would be way case over. So are the wealthy more privileged and get out of crime more?
And to understand what was happening to her and her baby. So obviously the testimony of Jay's best friend is over the top compelling and so important to this case, but it's not all the evidence that prosecutors say they have. They have more evidence, more witnesses, more indications that this defendant wanted that baby dead. So let's take a listen now to Jan Norman, the assistant district attorney, in the opening statement, because the opening statement is the roadmap of your case. When you give an opening statement, you tell the jury, especially as a prosecutor like I was, you tell them, what the evidence you believe will show, and you give them a preview. So they're kind of expecting this stuff. So when it shows up, they're like, oh, okay, that's what they mentioned in the opening statement. And it's easier to follow. It's like giving the jury a roadmap. Let's go in and take a look at the opening statement.
What did you put in my drink? I knew my drink tasted funny. You did this because you didn't want the baby. Those are a few of Jade Benning's last words, heard by her very best friend, Jade Jackson. Words that she heard spoken to Blaise Taylor over the phone 20 minutes before EMTs would find Jade Benning pulseless.
Yeah, if Blaise is convicted, he's not going to need any more zippers. He's not going to need any condoms. Or, he's not going to have to worry about getting anybody pregnant.
EMTs found Jade Benning face down, laying across her bed, not in her bed, across her bed, face down. She was pulseless. When they found Jade Benning, she had this pink, frothy liquid around her mouth, like a spit up. And the area where she had been face down on her comforter, it had that same pink spit up vomit on it. The EMTs did not even know that Jade Benning was 5 months pregnant. They rushed Jade Benning to Vanderbilt Hospital, and when she arrived at the ER, Jade Benning was dead. You will hear evidence and testimony this week that none of the treatment team at Vanderbilt's emergency room had that night of February 25th, 2023, just after 10 p.m. when Jade Benning came to their emergency department. You will hear the evidence and testimony that the blood sample that was taken in the emergency room at 10:31 p.m., the very first blood sample from Jade Benning, that the later testing that came back months later, the concentration of cocaine in her blood was so high, it was unlike anything the medical examiner in this case had ever seen.
Hear that? The cocaine was so high on the first blood draw that it was more than the medical examiner had ever seen. Hey, Tallygal and Tater. Tater, you need to come down there and watch this trial with me. I'm going to go to at least another day next week.
But it was higher than anything the entire medical examiner's office had seen.
Hold it right there.
You will also.
It's not a little bit of cocaine. It's not like some fentanyl that's mixed up with the cocaine. It's the actual incredible amount of cocaine that was found, the levels that were astronomical. That's an important fact in all of this, because if you are just, using this drug recreationally, why would you ever ingest that amount? Let's watch more.
Gossip rumor. Hey, girl, the friend screwed up this case, in my opinion. I agree. I think, and the lady, the one that the redhead, like she's sitting a few rows in front of me. I mean, bless them. I mean, they're up there all like I don't know. Maybe they just watched a lot of Dateline. One thing I noticed that the attorneys keep saying in this trial is, let's explain. It's not like on TV. And they did. They screwed that up. But like I said last night, if y'all are ever involved in a situation and you don't know if it's going to be turn into something that's a criminal case, demand that law enforcement or whoever do what needs to be done. It was really shitty that detective didn't get over there to her apartment that night.
We'll also hear evidence and testimony that the testing of that pink spit up vomit on Jade's comforter, that it also tested an outrageous level of cocaine. You will hear evidence and testimony from multiple different experts that the physical evidence in this case shows that Jade Benning orally ingested cocaine that had been dissolved in a liquid. You will also hear that Jade Benning was drinking a pink drink that night.
Exactly, Tiff. They got the feeling the cops wouldn't investigate, so they felt they had to. I mean, the mom's best friend, the lady with the reddish curly hair, she said that the mom was so heartbroken she wouldn't leave the hospital. She's there with her daughter on the ventilator, and she's just like, okay, I'll go do it. I mean, I will say that is some stupid shit I would probably do. Like, yeah, let's go. Let's go. Of course, I probably would have driven to the sheriff's office or whatever and gotten someone and be like, get in my car, mofo. We're going to get this stuff. But it was an impulsive decision, but they wanted to get the evidence.
Before any of those events happened, Jade Benning was a young 24-year-old, about to turn 25, young woman who was very happy to be 5 months pregnant.
Hold it right there for a second. That's important also. She wants to have the baby, right? If you have a couple and it's a surprise pregnancy and, they got to make this decision, well, it seems clear that one party absolutely thrilled, excited, the other party not at all. And that becomes, an important part of the backdrop for this, because a jury, you don't have to prove why, but the jury wants to know why.
And the person in the chat, don't even remember that, saying it's her friend. So you're saying the girl that did this to her would go and sit in the trial and interview with 48 hours and interview and would go and be with her when they unhooked her from the vent? Nope.
And this whole story that the prosecutor's telling makes sense. And from what she's saying, the physical evidence is lining up with the evidence that we heard from her best friend describing the drink being poison. Okay, there's a pink drink. We found it, the froth around her mouth. We found it on the comforter. All of this is so consistent. Let's watch more.
Also, here from another witness, Miss Apple Denny. She dated Blaise Taylor her freshman year of college. It was back in 2017. She was a freshman in college and she became pregnant. And she was not ready to be a mother at all. And she made the decision. He was with her. She made the decision to have an abortion. And Blaise Taylor went to those appointments with Miss Denny. They explained to her she had two options. And he was in those appointments, they talked about it. And she made the decision to have that abortion herself. Several months later, she will also describe to you a time when Blaise Taylor came to her in somewhat of a panic. And he told her that while they were on a break, he had slept with another woman, Xavier Windsor, and she was pregnant. And she was refusing to have an abortion. And Apple Denny will tell you that Blaise Taylor asked her if she would go to the abortion clinic and get the abortion pill so that he could put it in Xavier Mumford's drink to cause an abortion without her knowing. Miss Diddy told him no, and also told him that wasn't even possible. And she will describe to you that he then began talking about what else could he put in her drink that would cause an abortion. Jade,
Right there. So he asked, what else could you put in a drink that would cause that? That to me is very damning.
Benny's last words. What did you put in my drink? I knew my drink tasted funny. You did this because you didn't want baby.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable, right?
Kathy, I agree too. I think he just was trying to cause a miscarriage, and this turned into, first of all, I mean, a miscarriage at over 5 months pregnant. It's not, no.
And the prosecution case is fitting together just like this. And now you've got another witness, another.
Yeah, I got all the details on the jury. What do you want to know? There's 16 of them. It's 2 rows, it's 8 and 8. They're kind of elevated. They're in a box. They're in black leather, kind of swivel chairs. It is 9 women, 7 men. And let me see the racial, the blacks, black, white. Don't come at me. Some people wanted this information. I don't want to hear it. I'm tired of people just getting mad and typing crap on their iPhone. If you don't want to watch me, you don't have to. There's 11 white and 5 black jurors. 9 are women, 7 are men.
Ex of the defendant talking about him wanting to figure out, well, how do I get rid of this baby without the mother knowing? Wow. So the prosecution case is strong, okay? I'm a former prosecutor. This is a strong case.
I think for Vinny to say that, because let me tell you, Vinny isn't that convicting when you're talking about Wendy. Forensic Blaise likes to raw dog whoever. No kidding. And this is just the 3 pregnancies we know about. I don't know about the other baby I don't know what happened. Xavier, I don't know.
You've got the evidence that will resonate with the jury. So what is the defense going to do? Where are they going to point the blame here? Because it happens in every case. In every case, the defense points the finger.
Here he is right there. And he has worn this suit every day. I swear to God, it's the
somewhere
same
else.
He's
They
got
could say
different
some other
ties.
dude did it.
But that is what he looks like every day. Just he kind of just has a baby face. He's 30 years old. He's just kind of like that, emotionless.
Defense points the finger somewhere else. They could say some other dude did it.
She overdosed on cocaine, Tater. It was liquid cocaine, and it was like an insane amount, but she ingested it.
Can say the victim is responsible. They can say police did such a bad job in the investigation that we don't know what happened, ladies and gentlemen. So they're always blaming someone else. So let's take a listen now to the defense opening statement.
Now, what you hear when she was planning this date night, she was planning it with Nigeria. What should I cook and what should we do? And Nigeria says, well, I want some chicken Alfredo. So why don't you put that? And Jay says, okay, that sounds good. Now, what's important to know is that Jade was a very ambitious young lady, and she had her own business, JTP Eatery, which was like a small catering company. And when she would cook, you'll learn that some of her food would be infused with marijuana. In fact, you'll hear that her chicken Alfredo she would sell would be infused with marijuana. and cookies and brownies and things of that sort. So she makes the decision to have this date night with Blaise, and she and Nigella talk about it. And then at that point, Nigella says, well, I want some chicken Alfredo too. And Jay says, well, I'll put you some up for tomorrow. But Nigella says, and now we're in the bucket of jury, just so that you're oriented. Nigella says, well, no, I want to come tonight. Even though she's planning a date night with Blaise. She's now inviting herself into Jade's date night. And so she shows up, I would say, we know around 7:22, she sends a message, I'm on my way. And when she gets there, she brings a friend, Keontae, and she tells Jade, I want to bring Keontae too, because he wants some too. So we're both going to come to your date.
This is Tennessee. This is in Nashville. Audrey, you keep an app on your phone. You're able to record in an instant when needed. That's cool. Yeah, I don't know if Apple Denny will be tomorrow or Monday. If I knew for a fact she would be tomorrow, I would be down there. But I'm tired.
And they show up and they stay there, but not for long. But what you'll hear is that when they showed up, Blaise invites them to stay. Hey, why don't you guys stay and play cards? And he had a deck of Uno cards that he was playing with. And he says, let's play Uno.
Okay, this is hard to believe. It's Saturday night. I just looked up February 20. What was it? February 25th, 2023 was a Saturday night. 20-something-year-olds playing Uno. Stop. I mean, is that really a thing? Quilting girl, you said Blaise's dad told him to clean up his mess and call 911 afterwards. What did he say? I mean, I know he called his dad and his dad said to call 911, but what else did he say?
Well, do you guys know how to play spades? And Isaiah says, no, I don't know how to play spades. And so he says, well, you guys should.
Brooklyn, Blaise didn't go to Vanderbilt. He went to like Arkansas State.
Say, I know. But Najee says, well, no, I don't want to intrude. We'll leave.
Hold on one second.
And so we know.
It's interesting, the tone she takes when talking about Nigella, the best friend, the witness that we watch testify. Is she, like, everything she does is wrong? She comes over on a date night. She doesn't know how to play cards. Like, everything she does is wrong. I'm picking up on that tone. Let's see how far they take it.
And so we know that by 8:03, she was gone. Because she sends this text after spending that 20 minutes or so with Jay and Blaise.
This is Blaise Taylor when he was at Arkansas State on the football team. He was like a star little guy. Blaise Taylor, Conference Special Teams Player of the Week, Arkansas State. 9 punt returns, 114 punt return yards, 12.9 yards per return. This was in 2017. He had the 7th most in the nation for total yards. Oh, the tangled webs we weave.
That was a cute interaction. Then you'll know about 9:28, what you're going to find is that Jay and Blaise.
Carl's doing the opening. Well, good for Carl. I'll catch him on replay, but I won't be mad if you go watch.
Specifically, Jay was taking selfies with Blaise. And you'll find that the selfies were them kissing.
Who would have the money to buy that? Somebody like him who had a zillion laptops and all this stuff.
And laughing and joking and having a great time. You'll see those photos. And you'll see that they were taken from Jay's phone. But then less than a minute later, you'll hear that Nigella gets this call. And the call, I want to make sure that I say it right. The call, less than 60 seconds later, Nigella describes it as,
Taylor, it happened at an apartment on Lebanon Pike.
the most wimpiest voice I've ever heard. Those were her words. The scariest thing I've ever heard. She was freaking out.
Terry.
I never heard anything like it. She was fighting for her life. It was as if she was in danger. She says that she overheard her saying, "You put something in my drink." What did you put in my drink? But what you'll learn is that when Jade is making these accusations per Nigella, that Nigella sends a text back saying,
Terry with the intel. I mean, this can't be a coincidence. I mean, Apple Denny, that is not a common name. She was Miss Arkansas. Wow. Okay, this girl on the far right is really pretty. I feel like I've seen her in another. Is that her in the middle? My God, she's gorgeous. Terry says, is Apple Dennis, former Miss Arkansas that has platform against fentanyl? Anyone in the chat? No. Dang. I mean, she is gorgeous. Yep. Wow. Looks like she's at the Capitol or something there. Miss Greater Little Rock. Apple Denny, Miss Greater Little Rock, Doubletree Hotel. The Night of Hope benefit dinner. Purpose and prevention. Does anybody want to Google that? I mean, this has to be her. I mean, how many Apple Denny's are there in Arkansas? Huh. Thanks, Terry. Thank you so much. I mean, for the chat and for that information. That's very helpful. Thank you.
"Are you talking to me?" So when Jade is making these accusations, Nigella's response is, "Oh, are you talking to me?" You won't hear that she says, "What are you talking about? Who are you talking to?" You're going to hear that her response to those allegations are you talking to me?"
Hold it right there. Looks like they're going there. It looks like they're going there.
Because they weren't boyfriend and girlfriend, Mal. It was, a buddy F,
Like I said, and I've seen this many times in a courtroom. Whatever Nigella does is the wrong thing. Whatever she does is somehow nefarious. And that's what's happening here. Painting the picture of the witness that I showed you at the top of this episode.
Mm-hmm.
She is the evil one here. She is the one doing all the wrong things. Is she the one that poisoned her friend with liquid cocaine? Let's watch some more.
Oh, no, I don't think his parents encouraged him to get rid of that. I would be shocked.
Within that moment, as they are describing It was as if she was.
And this might be an unpopular opinion, but I'm just going to say it. I've been thinking about, like, if I were to able to go to the verdict, and let's just say I was able to go, and let's just say it was guilty. It would be really upsetting for me, not because of Blaise, but like just for his mom to see that as a mom of a, I don't know, that would be really, really tough. Now, I know, like, it would be justice for Jade's family, but I've just been like thinking about it. Do I want to do that? Because I don't know.
Was in danger, and she was alone, per Najee, in the apartment with the man that Najee says was trying to kill her best friend. Najee never calls 911. What you're going to find is that there was only one person that night that called 911. Because Jade didn't call 911 either. You'll hear that with all of this medical emergency, all of these things that were going on with this young lady.
It was odd that she was face down, and then on 911 he said she's on her side. Did y'all catch that too?
There was only one person who called the police, who called for help, and that was Blaise.
There's your defense. He's the only one trying to help her. Nobody else is trying to help her. It's just Blaise. He's the one who called 911. So let's take some time now to listen to that 911 call that's made by Blaise Taylor. And, you know, if making the 911 call was an absolute defense in every case involving spousal or boyfriend, girlfriend issues, there'd be a whole lot of people let out of prison these days, a whole lot, because a lot of these cases begin with a 911 call. And I mean, he's physically there with her. If she's in distress and he doesn't ever call 911, like, okay, why didn't you call 911? Right? That's the first. He knows he has to call 911, whether he's guilty or innocent.
Andrew, hush your mouth. You can't say that. I mean, I guess anybody could have some reasonable doubt, but I'm a believer. Okay, the jury is 7 men, 6 are white, 1 is black, 9 women, 5 are white, 4 are black. So 4 of those 16 will be alternates.
And you're in the room with someone who's foaming at the mouth, passed out, saying all the things that she's saying.
Mm-hmm.
You have to call 911.
Yeah, I like that, quilting girl. Keep talking to somebody and just keep asking to speak to their supervisor. That's right. Document it. Get it documented.
So let's take a listen to part of the call. And as we listen to it, I want you to pay attention to what he's saying, but also think about the things that he's not saying.
That's right, Tiff. I mean, if somebody like, oh, this guy works as a Titan scout, I mean, maybe I can get some tickets.
During this phone call.
Michael, what is the location of your emergency? I'm not sure. It's on Brown Pike. I'm at a friend's house, and I think she's having an electric reaction. Let's see, I guess I'll look at her so we can find her. I don't know.
I'm at a friend's house. I'm at my buddy's house. Yeah, my buddy had an allergic reaction. I get it. That could be an allergic reaction to whatever. But I'm at a friend's house. I'm at my girlfriend's house.
I would be shocked if it was an acquittal. It'll either be guilty or hung, in my opinion.
I'm at the woman who is carrying my child's house. Let's see if there's any mention here of the fact that this isn't just anyone that you're responding to. It's a woman who is carrying a baby.
No, her mom is white. Her dad is black. Her mom's been sitting right in front of me too, with the redheaded curly girl.
I don't know. It's an apartment complex. Is there a male with her? I'm looking around. I'm just give me a second. I'm looking around.
By the way, how'd you get there if you didn't know where it was? If you don't know where you're going, how did you get there? You should pop the address in GPS or something? Continue.
I don't know what's going on. I think she just. Give me 1 second. Are you on Donald tonight or are you on Lebanon? The Lebanon? Yeah.
Yes, court will be at 9 a.m. tomorrow. This judge is getting it done.
His appointment. Is it? I don't know. It's not Burger King. I do know that. Let me look at the one to the front of the building and get at the condo slash apartment. Yeah, sometimes it's smart. Okay, is there a bathroom in the corner there, sir? Is there a what? A bathroom in the corner? I'm not sure. I just passed it. The Ontario.
Oh, it looks like he's giving the address.
Yes. Ontario. So the she's in the box. She's at the door. That's right. I don't know. I think she's having a allergic reaction. We were getting cookies and painting, and then she said she wasn't feeling good. And I went back to the room. No, and what?
Yeah, it looks like his suit's a little darker today. It's true.
And what's the case we disconnected while you're up there? What's the callback number in case we disconnected? This number right here. And then, yeah, okay, and how old is he? 23, 24. Okay, is she awake right now? Yes. Okay. And do you think she was having an allergic reaction to food? I don't know. We got cookies and pasta. I don't know what she's done. If she's done anything today or anything, but everything was fine. And then I don't know what's happening. So, yeah, it's coming out of her mouth and she's shaking.
Thank you for renting.
All right, let's take this call and put it together with the testimony or the opening statement from the defense. The defense seemed to be going after the best friend, saying, "What did you put in my drink?" And in the 911 call, he's not saying anything about a drink. He's blaming it on the pasta.
Mm-hmm.
He's not blaming it on the drink. He's blaming it on the pasta.
And he also says, I'm not sure if she's done anything or not. And Keontae and Nyjah got the same dinner because they had stopped by and they took that to go. Shy Gal, you've been listening, sending out big love to her family and friends for sure. I mean, they are torn up and they are all there.
So right there, that's a problem for the defense. Like if your theory is, okay, yeah, she's talking about the drink because Nyjah knows that she poisoned her friend and she's doing this big cover story now. Well, then he would know that it was the drink. But in the 911 call, when this happened, before an attorney looked at the discovery and came up with a theory, it's the pasta. He's pointing the finger at the pasta right now.
If anybody wants an app that will record anything immediately, Audrey says it's called Voice Record, and it's red and white.
Yeah. But I thought it was Nyjah and the drink.
I would be shocked if the state rested tomorrow because y'all got to remember, Letitia's got to do the cross exam of the lady today, and she's going to wear that out. That was the one that tested the comforter. She was back on again at the end of the day. So she's going to do her cross. I would be shocked, but because I don't think the others are going to go fast.
Right. So the defense case, not from my perspective, not fitting together anything like the prosecution case is. Let's watch more.
So you think it's possibly a reaction to not having food, is that right? I think so, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a problem. It's a problem. Now, I think people will listen to the demeanor and the calls always sound like that, especially when they come from husbands and boyfriends. They always kind of sound like that. There's a lot of I don't knows. And it could be legit. Like when panic sets in, you have a hard time functioning, right? It's much more difficult to function, to come up with simple things like addresses when you're in absolute panic. And the panic can be from legitimately reacting to a situation you don't know how to handle, or the panic can also come from you planning the murder of the woman carrying
You know
your
what's kind of
child.
creepy? Jade looks kind of like Apple. Did y'all notice that?
So it could be legit. And sometimes that's what comes through in the 911 calls. So I don't think this is a case where you want to judge his demeanor. Is he acting? Is he not acting? I think this is a case where you're going to have to judge the credibility of Nigeria, the best friend, the ear witness to all of this, and to see if her testimony
So Apple Denny's platform in her beauty pageants was substance abuse and fentanyl. But yeah, think about it. So she's Miss Beauty Queen at Arkansas State and he's Mr. Football Star. They were probably like the little, Mr. Miss Perfect couple.
lines up better with the rest of the forensic evidence, or if the defense theory somehow, some way makes some sort of sense.
And I don't know that we know that Blaise did any drugs, but I imagine he could have connections. I mean, y'all, in athletics, there's plenty of stuff that goes on that's not supposed to. It's just awful. And that's the thing too. Jade has so much family and friends. She has mom, stepmom, stepdad, dad, tons of friends. I mean, it's not like she was, pregnant and kicked out and sent off to the convent to go have the kid like people did in the 60s and 70s. But he didn't want that baby. Hey, Lori, good to see you. Shy Gal, you're so sweet. Thanks for gifting the memberships. Hope y'all are enjoying your food trucks. I hope she testifies tomorrow too, Apple, but I'm worried about her. Sad. Listen, Fletcher, I got a bone to pick. Late fee. Been to happy hours with my lady lawyer friend. Been a little busy, but trying to catch her updates. You need to just come down there because, listen, you can come after lunch. You can still sleep late. I bet it'll be packed on closing days. I want to show y'all just how it ended today. In case anybody's just now joining, the defense little minions were watching the court TV stream during the trial today. Like they're watching the chat. So they were watching all this.
And then the item that's a
Both results were accepted from the 100-fold dilution.
The lady that they're going to cross-examine tomorrow. It was like Dr. I never saw it spelled. Muffers or Miffers. I know, Andrew, I know you're laughing hearing me say that.
Of fabric, let them soak in, and then treated them as if they were
45 acres.
Those are
I just want to see the very end of this. Exactly. It's a great point. 911 call is suspicious because he starts with the alibi story quickly, right?
The gentlemen of the jury, we're going to recess for the day. Remember what I said about not discussing the case, forming any opinion about it, looking anything up, watching any reports or anything media-wise. Leave your notes up here. Tomorrow, if you report like you did this morning, downstairs in the jury assembly room, 8:45.
Listen to that. Be downstairs at 8:45 a.m. on Saturday. But y'all, when you're on the jury, like you're not supposed to talk about it anyway. So I think it's probably, this is less time for them off of work.
50, been pretty good on being on time. So thank you for your service, and we'll see you in the morning. You can step out with the court officer.
Are you making a photocopy of that or? Okay. Thank you.
Oh, something else Letitia does too. She'll be like, "Well, you haven't given me that." Like she tries to be all like somebody's pulling a fast one on her.
Okay, y'all know, see, we got fully through 3 witnesses today. The state, how many more do you have?
Judge, some of it depends on the cross-examination of Dr. Benton, I would think, before we can develop.
Who do you know you've got left?
I know that we have 4.
Who's that?
We have Miss Denny, we have Michael Johnson, we have Detective Reese, and we have Miss Benning's mother, Bridget Parks, that I know we are definitively calling all 4 of those people.
Okay,
Oh wow.
so I'm just trying to give.
Hear that earlier. Jade's mom is going to testify. Apple is going to testify, a detective, and somebody else. Plus, they got to do the cross of this lady. I'll be shocked if the state rests tomorrow, but we'll see.
The defense, they can have some of their people ready tomorrow.
Judge, I have one thing that I need to address before we adjourn, if it's possible.
Okay.
There's been
If y'all are listening, I need you to stop everything you're doing right now and crank up your volume and listen to this. Listen.
this issue about the iCloud. They filed a motion to suppress anything outside the range. Your Honor didn't rule on it. I was specific, we were not using it in our case in chief. I said, but if it comes up because they open the door on cross-examination or defense proof, then I would request Your Honor to.
We had a discussion yesterday about the iCloud.
Yes, we did. So there is a message that was in the iCloud search warrant return from 2018. It is a message between Ms. Apple Denny and Mr. Blaise Taylor. In that message, Ms. Denny references, it's a longer text message, but she references the girl who I had.
May I ask that at least that the media be shut down if she's going to go into any substantive evidence that has not been.
I wish they had the camera on Letitia. They didn't, but she's standing up and she's going like, shut the media down. And she's like pointing over there at the camera. So she wanted them to shut down the court TV feed and look at him like, what? Because she was about to say this text message that Blaise had sent to Apple asking for the abortion pill.
How could I shut down the media under Rule 30?
Well, can we approach?
No. Tell me.
How can I shut down the media under Rule 30? She goes, may we approach? He said, no.
How to do that?
Well, you don't have to, may we approach?
No.
May I ask that this?
Twice he said, nope, you can't approach. He doesn't like people up there with him either. They hand evidence to a bailiff, and then that bailiff hands it to another bailiff who gives it to the judge.
The jurors aren't going to hear this.
We haven't opened the door to anything, neither do we plan.
I don't know.
Judge, I'm just making the court.
Okay, well, you don't have to read it. You're making them aware that if they mess around too much with Miss Denny, you may try to get into that.
Correct.
Okay, I mean, like I said Monday, I'm kind of a bottom line kind of person.
Yes, I have the same message from Miss Denny that was in the iCloud search warrant return. She has it on her phone. So I have it separately from the iCloud return.
Okay, so is it outside the time frame or inside the time frame?
Well, this doesn't have a time frame because I got it from her today.
Okay. Well, do they have a copy of the items you're holding in your hand?
That's why I was
You do?
addressing the court.
You don't have to give them to them. Are those copies? Okay, let them look at them and then they can go into their thought process, think tank about how they're gonna well with Miss Denny.
And Your Honor, just for the record, there is a separate iMessage that specifically references another part of Ms. Denny's testimony that I may ask the court to be able to use as well, depending on the cross-examination.
Okay, well, let's just deal with what the court's approved Ms. Denny testifying about, and then we'll see what the cross is.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And I'm trying to, you,
Can I just clarify? This is the message from Ms. Danny's phone. This is the message.
they're both, one's in the iCloud and one's on her phone currently.
And I had Detective Tom Miller, I sent him the images from her phone, and he validated that it was exactly the same.
Can I just inquire why the state is looking through Mr. Taylor's iCloud outside the scope of the search warrant?
I don't know, I thought we weren't gonna do that.
Your Honor said that we could not use it in our case in chief, the detective already reviewed it.
Okay, it was already done when we had our last year.
It sounds like they found this message and they asked him to go back in and look through his iCloud.
You know, if I guess, did she show you this?
I've never seen this.
I'm not
Yes.
asking
We
you,
asked her if she
Miss
still had,
Denny.
we asked her if she still had her messages from
Okay, Miss
2018.
Denny recently told them about that still in her phone.
She still had her messages from 2018. Y'all, this was going on, and I was like this. I mean, everybody, we were all on the edge of our seat.
And then they went into Mr. Taylor's iCloud.
Had already done that.
That was already done. Again, the court said,
The tip is, Mr. Brand, be careful.
Who would be here?
You, or whoever's cross-examining Miss Denny.
I understand. I understood.
The tip is be careful. He's like, B? He's like, well, who's ever cross-examining Miss Denny? And he's like, yes, sir. Because they don't want to open the door to more of this evidence, because apparently they're not allowed to ask about Blaise's iCloud.
I do understand.
Just a polite tip. Can somebody get me those copies? They weren't
Just a light tip.
that lengthy. See where we're on, trying to get this
Y'all, this is a movie.
lady out of here with her copies.
I guess then.
Baby, I'm gonna go get you a steak tonight.
Don't guess anything. If it comes up, it comes up. We'll deal with it after Miss Denny testifies.
See, that Ed came over there and talked to him. I was like, don't do it, man.
Putting it together for you our notes.
Those are her notes. They're giving, I can take one copy.
You put them together.
They're giving you copies of the notes that she's referenced here. You get everything back?
Just double check. Making sure I got all the pages. Okay. I think so, yeah.
Oh. Article will be recessed until 9 a.m. tomorrow.
Did y'all notice that new attorney sitting over there at the defense table? Nija Jackson was in Law and Crime Chat today. She shouldn't be doing that. Hey, Christy. You should. You should come down. Good to see you. Is that not wild? Did y'all think that was wild? I thought it was wild. And every time that guy stands up, Mr. Brand, I think of you, Blue River. I'm just like, oh my God, it's the guy from Bart Simpson. I need her hairstylist phone number. Which one? The prosecutor? Hanging with a friend at BJ's. Yeah. Surprise, your dad. Okay. What'd you say? Glad you're following this trial. Yeah, I mean, it's wild. It's the first time I've ever attended. I mean, I'm kind of addicted. Let me read the rest of my notes though for y'all. And then I'll go. Okay, the Adam Reese detective. I wrote in all caps, defense does not want that comforter in. I mean, they were fighting it like crazy. She kept saying same appeals, same objection. I mean, the detective had to go to Vanderbilt to get her urine to test. And I mean, I just never thought about it, but they do I guess is that a warrant for it? And he has to go in with the nurse and watch them take it out of the catheter bag, put it in the specimen cup, and he puts it in the evidence bag all right there in the ICU. I just had never really thought about that. There was a girl named Amanda Sweet with the crime lab. I thought she did a good job. Meanwhile, the defense, they're running back and forth, getting different copies. It's like they were really trying to discredit that third-party lab, NMS. I could tell that. Oh, and remember yesterday when they were talking about civilians and crime scene? I was like, civilians? I was all thinking I could go like volunteer to do something. But what Amanda Sweet explained, she's like, I am not a sworn officer. I'm considered a civilian, but she's still like a crime scene expert. So no, not going to happen. I wrote down jury is full of lots of yawns, glazed over looks, and then one of the minions with the defense team who was streaming the court TV stuff. So maybe y'all should go in there and just be like, oh my gosh, they're doing so good. I kept writing, she is sniffly, slurpy, and gross. She has a filthy screen, snorts and is snotty, and scrolls Instagram and her emails. It was like, I think she's having an allergy attack. Jan kept chatting it up with the other blonde prosecutor about like their strategy. I mean, they were on fire late today. They definitely, in that they wanted to get stuff done. I never saw anybody taking notes during the cross today. The lady that tested the comforter, she stepped down from the stand and then they called her back again. She was out in the hall a long time. I think I already told y'all that like one of the jurors was doodling. I told y'all that Blaise's mom has a close friend there and they kind of walked off somewhere during the break. But like she just wanted to chat. I wonder though, like if Blaise has really gotten these other girls pregnant too, if they're just thinking, damn son, you've done it this time. Like I don't know. Maybe not. I did write, is Saturday going to be a mistake? Only because the jurors look exhausted, but maybe they'll all go home and get a good night's sleep. Yeah, the judge doesn't even look over at Letitia. Like if she objects, he just says, sit down, sit down. I said the whole jury leaned forward. They wanted to see the results of that comforter test. That was the most engaging I'd ever seen them. They were all extremely attentive. And then it was just what the judge just said. He said, don't guess at anything. And he said, I'm a bottom line kind of guy. And that was it. So, yeah, he's not having it. I know. I mean, I think an attorney like her, you had to have somebody that strong like him. I'm a bottom line kind of person too. Yeah. That's like me when I go buy a car. I'm like, listen, I don't need all this BS fees and all this. And just right here, let's just talk about the bottom line. Yeah, she's very argumentative. Yes, Fletcher boy. He has been this straightforward the entire trial. I mean, he was like this on Wednesday. I act like I've been going for a month. But Fletcher boy, the news though was that the bailiff came up to me after today. He's like, I know who you are. I was like, oh, well, who do you think I am? He said, Nancy Grace. No, but Yeah, start using a rubber, pay the consequences. They're playing rough. They're just shady. It's just like it's people just looking for that loophole or trying to pick apart something. I thought, really? So because a label wasn't quite put on the bag right, you just think somebody's going to get away with all this? Flanders, that's it, Tiff Knox. Yes. Every time I see him, I giggle thinking about Blue River saying that. Yeah, Jan will do whatever she has to do. It is wild. You have messages from 2013. Yeah, you're glad she kept them. But isn't it sad though that she's got to come forward and say all this stuff? Who? You. Yeah. So, yeah, the jury wasn't there. Oh, yeah. No. It was this morning I was getting ready for work and he's like, "Are you going back down to the courthouse today?" And I said, "No, I'm going to go to work, but I might go after lunch." And then I texted him like at 6. I was like, "Hey, I'm still at the courthouse." He's like, "I thought you were going to work today." I was like, "Well, I did." Yeah, I don't understand how Blaise's iCloud is not fully available for trial. Wait, what? I'm a newbie to this channel. Well, welcome. We're happy you're here, Nola. Leslie, you can see that juror with the overalls being a holdout. No, I wouldn't say. I've got maybe a couple others that I'm watching. But I don't know about the iCloud. Like, I don't know anything about pretrial motions. I don't even know where to find discovery. I sort of mess around. Like, I know how to do Leon County in Florida, but I'm not quite sure. Oh, yellow food truck. So my membership's the little symbol is the food truck. So the first month I think it's red, and then maybe the second month it's yellow. Then it goes green, and then once you hit like 6 months, it's pink or something. I don't even remember what I did, but that's it. It just changes colors. Yeah, it's the food truck because Wendy says she went to the food trucks the night before Dan, and she hung out there all night. Yes, exactly, Shy Gal. 100%. This is a movie from Letitia and her man, slave to the friends going to the scene. Yeah, and like these young people that work for her that are slurping and snotty, and I mean they're rough. I don't know how to explain it, but I may not want to go back to the courtroom because they might have a hit out on me. It's Fletcher boy, you're missing out. Oh, and yeah, I mean the sheriffs know who I am now. It's perfect. I'm gonna start going down there to see this stuff. Yeah, he's over the BS and the showboating. Yeah, I mean, wouldn't it? This is the kind of judge they needed in the Karen Reed trial. I think that's a marriage counselor sitting at the defense table. Ed and Letitia probably pay one to follow them around. I know it was weird. All of a sudden, I look over. I'm like, where did she come from? Because I finally got up and got to go to the right side again. The thing about being on the left side over there where the defense is, the audio is just it's not good. It has been fascinating. It's a good one. How did they meet? So supposedly they were both at Tennessee State, but they met on an app, what's called Hinge or something. You do that stuff. Now I don't even remember what it was. I'm sorry. You're going to sleep. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah, the lowdown is good. I was like, I'm gonna take good notes. They don't need, they can watch the testimonies. So I was like writing everything down. But yeah, the jury is tired. It was a very different jury today than it's been. So I hope they go to bed early tonight. Oh, about the civilians. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Mal. Appreciate it. I would be shocked. I don't think Blaise is going to testify. Fletcher, I know where the TBI lab is in East Nashville. It's near the corner off of Hart Lane. Oh, cool. And there's also a big crime lab apparently in Madison, they were saying. Yes, jurors were glazed over during Letitia's cross. I didn't see people taking notes. Saw one girl with her arms crossed. One man, I mean, bless him, he was out. I think he turned his hearing aid off. What were the t-shirts? So one day she had a shirt on that said, "I'm not for everyone." And then the next day her shirt was a Florida State shirt. And then today it was just plain. So it's been wild. Well, I'm glad y'all like it. So, just a 5'9" Nancy Grace in Nashville. Fletcher boy, I'm telling you, you better come down there. Yeah, there is a protect yourself. Yeah. Yeah, Armand, that's how I think too. No acquittal, hung maybe. Oh, true crime wifey. Thank you. Been here for 5 months. Lori, welcome. Great food trucks on Nolensville Road. Ooh, I bet they're good. Watch your back, Leslie B. No shit. Today I needed to pee. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna go in the courthouse. I'm just gonna go on home, probably get a UTI, but luckily I've made friends with the sheriff deputies. I mean, one of them today was like, you okay getting to your car? I'm like, yeah. No hit on me, maybe Nancy. Yeah. I'll watch long crime stream tomorrow. Yeah, I will. Thanks, Christy. Oh, you're jealous of my height. I don't know. My brother's like, you should have been a linebacker. Thanks. All right. Well, thank you. And I'm not going to stream it. I'm just going to watch. I got to prepare. We got book club Sunday morning, and then we got trivia Sunday night. Okay. Y'all go watch Carl. Good night.
I'm Leslie B, justice seeker, story keeper, and we're still watching, waiting for justice.